and it's early Saturday morning, 7:30, and getting my oil changed here at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, and had to get a cup of coffee. Walked down the street down that way to Publix, and I couldn't believe it. Publix has a Starbucks, so I got my completely overloaded caffeinated coffee. Hot, hot, hot. So yeah, ready for the day. And I'm really not sure what I'm going to do today. Let's play it by ear and see what happens. And it's already a busy day here at Valvoline Oil Change. And right next door, they have a Taco Bell. Well, they do have, we got breakfast here. Yeah, it's pretty nice. So much construction going on South Boulevard here with all these condos and apartments and restaurants and retail all going in now. A lot of the old buildings are gone. But yeah, it's already picking up business. And it's not even 8 o'clock yet. So we are in South End, where we live, and you're going to notice a lot of these popping up everywhere where they tear down some of the old homes. They put these cool condos up. They're really nice, actually, and they're definitely not cheap. And then here's the Valvoline place where we're at. You got these crepe myrtles all over the place, which is very popular in Charlotte. But yeah, if you don't get here in time, early in the morning like I do, there'll be lines out to here. And because we're in town, there's going to be, on a Saturday morning, just a line of cars waiting to get their oil changed. Tacos! Southbound, right there. Tacos. Actually, it's really good. This place here got really good Mexican food. And they took these old freight carts and made them a part of the restaurant. Isn't that cool? That's pretty popular too. That's happened a lot too. You know, recycling the old freight carrier cars. You know, it goes on the freighters overseas and change them into bars, restaurants, even homes too. But here's the outside seating right here. Kind of doing a quick walk around. My car might be done pretty soon, so I just want to do it really quick. But yeah, here's the outside of Southbound. This place is hopping. At lunch and at dinner time, yeah, this place is packed. Then over here, another favorite of mine is Mac's Speed Shop. This was an old car wash years ago, and it stood abandoned for, God, maybe 20, 25 years. And then in the last 15 or so years, might be wrong, but it became Mac's Speed Shop. Here it is right here. All this outside eating here, and man, is the barbecue good. And let me show you this over here. There it is, the old cover. That's the original retro vintage cover where you would put your car, dry it off after you get it washed. That's still the same. That's been here since I was a kid. So yeah, been there a long, long time. But yeah, Mac's Speed Shop right here on South Boulevard. And I just want to tell you too, a lot of these restaurants are dog friendly. So you bring your pup, have lunch or dinner, you're good to go. They supply the water bowls for your pup. And here we are at historic Fort Dobbs. And there are your hours right there. And let me go over here. And there's the fort over there. And we're going to go inside and take a tour of Fort Dobbs. So we started in Charlotte, had no plans. And yeah, sometimes you just don't know where you're going to end up. But we ended up somewhere really cool. It's in Statesville, North Carolina, and we are at historic Fort Dobbs. We're kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and this is awesome. So let me show you the fort. And there you go, Fort Dobbs. And I'm going to walk around and take a look at this historic site. They got some reenactors out here today. The weather is beautiful. There you go. That's a better shot. Full shot of Fort Dobbs. And in the description, I'll have the entire history of this area. And you got a log cabin over here. Got the visitor center over here. Yeah, it's just outside of Charlotte. It's about 35 miles. Right outside of Charlotte, going north on 77 in Statesville. So, yeah, this is so awesome. I've been meaning to come here for a while and show you this place. But, and of course, you're going to have your historic placards here. Site of Fort Dobbs. When war erupted between the colonial possessions of England and France in 1754, North Carolina was in a poor state of defense. Governor Arthur Dobbs sent to London for 1,000 muskets to arm local militia companies and full-time provincial troops to counter the threat of naval attacks by the French, and later the Spanish. Fortifications were ordered to be constructed at strategic points along the coast. So of course you see this way in here, of course, but this is before the actual Revolutionary War, when this took place. So yeah, there we go. But yeah, if you want to, let me go back here. So if you want to pause it and read the entire thing about the history, here you go. And here you go too, preserving the past. Again, if you want to pause it and read the history here. So when you go inside the cabin, it's also a gift store, but also you get your tickets here for the tour. You got these cool artifacts here in these different cabinets right here. Silver hilted swords such as this in 1748 example were carried by many regular and provincial officers during the French and Indian War. But this is the gift shop here. Really nice. So yeah, they have the cabinets here. You can read all the information. So a lot of it is to do with the French and Indian War, right here. And you got check these out. You got the coins of that era too, right there. I got a patch. Oh, that's pretty neat right there. I like that. And some other cool items you can purchase that are period. Right, you got the whistle here, nice, and you got the horn for your powder. Some puzzles and historic literature here for you to purchase. And you got these Fort Dobbs baseball caps, different colors right there. And of course your t-shirts. And check this out, this is 1730s Dutch musket. It's representative of the arms issued to North Carolina's provincial soldiers from England. Very nice. So we're going to do the tour in just a little bit, and it's $2 for that. I ended up buying a cool necklace. It's made from a musket ball, so that'd be cool for a costume that I have. And I just want to do a walk around. Right now it's just after 12, so we're going to wait for the tour to start in about 25 minutes. But I just want to walk around. And also the cool thing that he told me inside, they have found over 6,000 artifacts in this area right around the fort over time. So yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, muskets, plates, musket balls, and all kinds of other clothing artifacts, dishes, stuff like that, all through here. So yeah, this looks pretty neat. So this was around the French Indian War at the time, and I just love the structure. I mean, it's hardcore. Some thick timber there. Got the moat in front with the wooden defenses around it. And here we are, right here, out in the middle of the farms, out here in the countryside, just outside of Statesville. It's beautiful out here. It's very peaceful. Got a huge, it's like cornfields over there, wheat fields. Gonna walk around here. Get the embattlements here. Yeah, there's just nothing as far as, there's no reenacting going on today as far as, you know, battle, stuff like that. Nothing like that. We're just doing a nice little walk around the fort. We're gonna be going inside in just a little bit here. Got the little fences here to block the enemy from getting close to the fort. Oh, there's an example of one of the timbers right there. Check that out. 16 by 20 by 22 white oak beam size. Check that out. 3,000 pounds. And the tree size was 15,000 pounds. So look at the size of that. So each of those beams right there, that's what that is. Thing is thick. So if you're shooting musket balls, yeah, they're going to catch those pretty good. Keep it from getting inside and hurting anybody. Another side of the fort. From some pictures I've seen, it's pretty cool inside how it's set up. You know, a little garden over here too. Oh, here you go. Another placard here. While Fort Dobbs was constructed to ward off attacks by French allied natives, it was only attacked once in history during the Anglo-Cherokee War. On the night of February 27th, 1760, a party of Cherokee arrived at the fort. So the Anglo-Cherokee War was from 1759 to 1761. It's only a couple of years. It kind of shows you the territory there and the areas through here, through North Carolina. Kind of a chronological history there on the right. So if you want to pause and read that, there you go. And I'll have all the information also in the description too, how to find Fort Dobbs here in Statesville.
Forts on the other side of the mountains, kind of cutting the British off as the British see it. And the French are doing that so they can trade with the hundreds of thousands of native people that are already living in that territory and who don't really want British people coming to take their own. We're building forts here to defend ourselves. 250 miles east of us at the ocean, the danger is that the French Navy will show up. So near Beaufort and Wilmington, we have several forts that are built. Where we're standing is the western edge of settlement, the frontier. And colonists who are living here are just scattered farming families. They're people who have only been here really for a few years prior to the war breaking out. There's a lot of people coming from Pennsylvania where land is expensive. They're moving through the Shenandoah Valley and taking cheap land here in western North Carolina. But they're scattered. They live far from their neighbors. They can't protect each other if they come under attack.
And here we go inside.
So again, typically at least 50 men are living here. They need a lot of stuff to live their daily lives. They need tools to maintain the fort, ammunition, clothing. They consume a huge amount of food every single day. So you need a lot of storage space. And here in the supply room, we'll have kegs of bullets, tools, boxes of candles, barrels of flour and peas. Any sort of dry goods would be kept in a room like this above ground. Doing the archaeology here, we found that there was actually a cellar as an underground storage space below half the building. So where it's insulated and cool, they'll have more barrels of salted meat, root vegetables. Their gunpowder is not next to the fireplace here. It's in a magazine that's in the cellar underground. But between the two, that's where they're keeping this. Some goods are being produced in the eastern part of North Carolina, where most of our population lives, and wagons are bringing things out to this garrison. And then the local farmers that the fort is here to protect are, we think, selling cattle and corn and peaches and whiskey to the troops. So all of that stuff coming together here. So Statesville is now is not a town. The only town west of the Yadkin River is Salisbury, almost 30 miles away. But we do have areas where there are some clusters of farmers where families are a little closer together than in other parts of the frontier. And where Statesville is a region called the Fourth Creek Settlement. Within 10 miles of where we're standing in all directions, you have about 37 families living.
And check out those swivel guns. They're mounted all along these windows here.
Outside, you can kind of get a sense of how soldiers can fire in different directions. And I get the sense, sir, you were just disappointed by trying to play with your phone. We do have a cap on it today. We lose a lot of tourists that are appeared by the early 1800s through rot.
And that is a functional well.
But archaeologists did find a 40-foot shaft that was sunk here in the ground with our modern building foundation we use. And if you're under attack, having a nice well inside is a pretty good thing. So. We think there would have been 4 barrack rooms on this. This is the space where 12 of the enlisted soldiers spend their off-duty time. You notice there are 6 wide berths in the bedstead, so 2 men share each of those sections. You guys can try the beds if you want to. You don't have to share. It's a straw-filled mattress, straw-filled bolster pillow. Each man gets 1 blanket, so when it is cold, you definitely want to share a bed. They're going to cook here in the barracks as well. There is no kitchen, but every room has its own fireplace built into the central chimney. And the 12 men who live in this space will be divided into 2 groups of 6. Each mess is given all of their food in bulk every day from the supply room. They work among themselves to figure out how to cook. When you pull the trigger, the flint strikes sparks on the steel battery here. So when you're loading your piece, you're going to put a charge of gunpowder inside. Those sparks ignite the gunpowder charge outside. The fire shoots into the barrel. That powder charge blows up, and that shoots your projectile. Now the soldiers to load quickly are actually have their projectile and a measured amount of gunpowder all wrapped up in a cartridge. So everything you need to fire is in this one convenient package. You don't have to fumble around like a hunter with a powder horn to measure out your gunpowder, take out the bullet. It allows them to fire very rapidly.
And we're going to go upstairs now.
3 officers. The officers are men selected by the governor, commissioned by him because they are educated. They know how to read and write and do math. Because they're educated, well, the reason they are is because they're members of the upper table bears from home. They're probably paying some of the private men to be their personal valets, to do their cooking, care for their clothing, empty their chamber pots.
So cool. All the pipes.
Yeah,
awesome.
Tobacco smoking is extremely common.
Especially in Carolinas.
So there were 3 officers
And 1 surgeon.
we got the big
Well, even as the Cherokee are fighting the French, colonists in both Carolinas continue to move west and encroach onto land that the Cherokee view as their own country. You saw downstairs just like this. This is not to destroy another building, it's just to fire at human beings at close range that are attacking this fort. It'll lob a half-pound solid iron shot, if you'd like to pass it around, sir, a couple hundred yards pretty accurately. In nighttime, the Cherokee may be very close, so you use something called grape shot, a paper bag with 12 of those big musket balls that will spray out like a huge shotgun blast. But it's a quick little battle. By the time all the colonists get indoors, not much more the Cherokee can do. They don't have an easy way to destroy this fort. We can tell by the early 1800s, there is nothing. It's an empty field. And it's going to stay that way for 2 centuries until we built the fort.
So when we came out too, he was telling us that this is actually the original ditch, that it was covered up by the farmers because it became farmland again. But when they were doing the surveying of the area, they found that this was well preserved and covered up, so none of the farm equipment damaged the original ditch. So this is the footprint, so they knew where it was for the fort. So yeah, here's the footprint, here's the fort. So it's all around the circumference of the fort. So I just wanted to share with you some excerpts, from the tour, because I want you to go on the tour when you come here, because it's very informative, a lot of history with the Cherokee and all kinds of different tribes in the area that participated in the different wars around here, the French Indian War, and a lot went on in this area for sure. But you definitely want to come here, and it's well worth the $2. And there's also a donation you can leave too for the museum. So I want to go check out this nature trail. It's like 1.5 miles. We're not gonna do the whole thing, but I want to see what it looks like back in these woods. And it feels good back here, nice and cool in the shade. So like I said, we're not gonna go too far, so I can give you an idea of the trail here. Look at the roots on that sucker. Got a lot of oak back here, tons of oak and poplar back in the woods here. And kind of warm, so there's a possibility of critters and snakes, so you gotta watch that too. But yeah, it just feels really nice. It's very peaceful back here. Hear the bugs. Hear the birds. And a nice breeze going through the woods here. Like I said, we're not going to go too far. I just want to just kind of get an idea of what it looks like back here. Maybe we'll see a deer or something. Or Sasquatch. This is really nice. Nice area. Looks like some trees fell over and cut them away from the trail. Very peaceful walk. So yeah, to get out of the city, come out here, enjoy this beautiful fort and tour and history of this area, and then come out here and walk on the trail, and just to get away from it all. But it's really peaceful out here. But yeah, I just wanted to show you a little bit about side here on this nature trail. Looks like somebody left their britches and their top out here. Get their socks too on the fence drying out. And here's a garden right here, which is very typical of that period. They have these for their food, herbs also. Nice little garden. Make sure you hang your wool socks up right here along the fence. So right at the parking lot, they do have facilities here. So they get bathrooms here in this nice little barn structure. They also have showers. So I'm sure the showers are for their reenactors, because some of their clothing gets pretty hot. So I started the day not knowing what I was going to do and decided to go north. So we ended up here in Statesville at Fort Dobbs. Great historic site. I do encourage you to come and visit this beautiful place and also learn some of the history of the area as well. Yeah, it was a good day today and a nice breeze going through, and it actually was not hot inside there. It was probably in the upper 70s, if that, and had a nice cool breeze coming through the windows. Felt really good. But it's an amazing history of this area right here during the French and Indian War. But yeah, this is really nice. And again, check the description. I'll have all the information there for you, how to get here. It'll be a great day to come out and see some history, experience some history. They have reenactors here too, and they also have all kinds of events during the year of reenactors coming out here and sharing the history with you. All right, guys, stay tuned for more. Take care. Bye-bye.